there, and welcome. You have probably seen it all over your social media feeds, right? That bright, almost glowing golden drink that promises to do just about everything for your health. Yep, we're talking about turmeric water. It's a huge wellness trend, but what's the real story? Let's get into it.
So, this is the big question we're going to try and answer. Is this drink some kind of ancient health secret, a true golden elixir, or is it just another trend that's all hype and not much substance? We're going to break down what the science actually says versus what the claims are.
All right, first things first. To really understand turmeric water, you have to know what's actually in that spice that gives it its supposed superpowers.
So turmeric itself is this really earthy, warm spice that's been used for literally centuries. But its recent fame in the wellness world isn't about the flavor. Nope, it all comes down to one single main active compound that does all the heavy lifting.
And here it is, curcumin. This is the star of the show. Curcumin is a really powerful antioxidant, and it's the specific compound that scientists are looking at for all those potential health benefits. So from here on out, when we talk about what makes turmeric special, we're really talking about curcumin. Okay, so with curcumin as our hero ingredient, what are the actual promises? The source material highlights 7 potential perks you might get from making turmeric water a part of your daily life. Let's go through them.
That's right, a solid 7 areas where this drink could potentially give you a little boost. We're talking about everything from inflammation to your immune system. It's a pretty compelling list.
First up, and this one is a really big deal, is inflammation. Chronic inflammation is tied to so many health problems. Well, the curcumin in turmeric may help bring down some of the markers of that inflammation. And that directly relates to your joints too. Some research suggests it could even help with the pain and stiffness that comes with osteoarthritis.
But the potential benefits don't just stop at your joints. It seems curcumin could also be a friend to your heart. Research points to it possibly improving how well your blood vessels work, which is obviously fantastic for heart health. Plus, its antioxidant qualities might give your body's natural immune response a helping hand.
And finally, you've got your general day-to-day wellness perks. You get a nice dose of antioxidants to help fight off cell damage, it could support better digestion, and, let's not forget the most basic benefit of all, it helps you stay hydrated. And that's always a good thing. Okay, so those benefits sound amazing, I get it. But before you run to the kitchen and start chugging this stuff, we really need a serious dose of reality. This is the part where we separate what's just internet hype from what the science actually shows. Now, you have to look closely at these numbers because this is probably the most important slide. A typical glass of turmeric water, the kind you'd make at home, has about 30 to maybe 90 milligrams of curcumin. But now look at the other side. Those scientific studies, the ones that found all these impressive results, they were using concentrated supplements with 250 milligrams of curcumin or even more. That's a huge, huge difference.
And this quote from the source really just sums it all up perfectly. The key thing to remember is that the research is done on these really high doses. So while your homemade turmeric water isn't doing nothing, the benefits are likely to be, well, pretty modest. It's all about managing your expectations.
So with that reality check firmly in mind, if you still want to give turmeric water a try, let's look at how to do it right, to actually get the most you possibly can out of it. Making it is incredibly simple. You just mix about a half to a full teaspoon of turmeric powder into some warm water. But step 2 is absolutely critical, so listen up. You need to add a little pinch of black pepper. Pepper has this stuff in it called piperine, and it dramatically boosts how much curcumin your body can actually absorb, so don't skip that part. After that, you can add whatever you want. Lemon, a little honey, some ginger, go for it. Now, as with pretty much anything, this isn't for everyone, and it's super important to know about the potential risks. So let's quickly cover the safety stuff you need to be aware of. For most people, having a glass every now and then is totally fine. But if you start drinking a lot of it, it might upset your stomach. More importantly, turmeric can interact with certain medications, especially things like blood thinners. Also, if you have any issues with your gallbladder, you should probably just avoid it. And of course, the golden rule always applies. Talk to your doctor, especially if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or dealing with any health condition.
So, we've gone through the promise, the reality check, the recipe, and the risks. After all that, what's the final verdict? What's the big takeaway here?
Here's the bottom line. Turmeric water is not a magic potion. It's not going to fix a bad diet or make up for not exercising. But it can be a simple, hydrating, and potentially beneficial little extra to add to an overall healthy lifestyle. You should think of it as a small, supportive habit, not some kind of silver bullet. And that brings us right back to our first question. Is it a healthy habit or is it just a golden illusion? Well, it seems the truth is somewhere in the middle. It's a habit with some modest potential that's grounded in real science, but it's definitely been amplified by a lot of hype. Now, the choice to drink it is yours, but at least you can make it an informed one.
Thanks so much for watching.